Okay, greetings everyone. Welcome to Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. I want to welcome you to my channel, all my subscribers, all my featured subscribers, all my scallywag, peaches, triggers, haters, lovers, and commenters. Each and every one of you, I appreciate you and welcome to my channel. Well, tonight I have the pleasure of having a dear friend of mine pop in while he's moving about, and his name is Vince. Vince, say hello everybody.
What's happening, baby? What's going on?
So, tell everybody where you're from.
Augusta, Georgia, checking in.
Okay, and what have you been doing since the last time I've seen you?
Oh man, just moving and grooving. I went to Thailand. Came back.
How'd that work out for you?
Thailand was smoke. It was smoke.
In more ways than one.
And just making making my way around the Philippines.
Okay. So, you're going to be leaving the Philippines. This is what this little roundabout is about. You touch your bases before you bounce on out.
Yes, sir.
Tell my viewers what you think about the Philippines.
It's a beautiful place to be at. Don't move here unless you're ready. I would suggest to a lot of guys, come here on vacation for 2 weeks a couple of times. Find out, where do you want to be at first and then make that decision. But don't just sell everything to move here and then, you don't know where you're at. You don't know what you're supposed to be doing. You might not have enough money saved up.
Well, we kind of talked about money before. You said it's don't be fooled about the money.
It's cheap, but it's not that cheap. It's not cheap in those ways.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to the grocery store here and spend about the same amount that you would at Walmart, maybe even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said don't move here unless you're ready. Is there an age that you recommend someone to come here and wanted to stay, or is there age that you say that come here and don't stay, just come here and touch bases and bounce?
Well, I wouldn't put an age on it. I would put an amount on it.
Okay.
If you have enough saved up, or you have renewable income.
Okay, yeah, new money.
New money, however you want to.
We call that new money when you have government money coming in, or retirement, or disability like we do. It's called new money. It's not like the old money, because a lot of foreigners have old money. They have investments. They have inheritance. They have money that sell property and all that stuff. That's old money that they have, and they come here. But don't be fooled, because although you got old money, you can easily get caught in a flim flam. And in fact, you were telling me the story about a foreigner. What happened to him? That he came here, and tell my viewers about the story.
He sold everything that he had back home. Came here, moved here, brought the house and the lot. And as soon as the house and lot was finished being paid for, the woman broke up with him. And he didn't have anything here. He didn't have anything home. And now he found himself being stuck here. And I hope none of you all get stuck in that type of situation. This is not the place to run out of money.
Mm-hmm. And what happened? I
don't know. I haven't heard.
Some friends pulled together. They pulled together.
Oh yeah, well that was down here in Dumageddon.
Yeah. Tell the story.
Paul Old Dog New Tricks. They looked out for him, and I think his story was.
It was Paul.
Paul Old Dog New Tricks.
Wow.
So I think his story was a success story in the end, but that won't be everybody. That will not be everybody.
Mm. Well, I've told them several times that when I came here with just $500 in my pocket, and 2 weeks before my next paycheck, and that was enough for me to find a place to stay and kind of get a foothold and kind of get an idea. In fact, I was in Cebu, and learning to cross the street was something new, because I was around this roundabout,
crazy,
and I swear they drive sideways. Well, and so I ended up, when I crossed the street, I followed behind old women and children because they knew more about the traffic than I did. Because I said, wow. But yeah, let's touch on relationships, because you asked me, about about my not feeling the urge and needs, to chase skirts, as my mother used to say. Don't be out there chasing them skirts, and I guess I've gotten to a point in life that where is that, you know, you know, God, dog, I'm chasing enough skirts. I've looked under enough skirts. I pulled off enough skirts. That whereas that, now it's not about that anymore for me. It's about companionship. It's about finding someone. I recognize a young brother like you, 37 or something like that.
Man, getting old, man.
Yeah, 37 years old. You ain't got no business thinking about living the type of life that I'm living, because there's just too much of you wanting to sow your oats. You know what I'm saying? Or finding someone and you're planning to move to you're going back to the States for a little while, and then you're going to come back and you want to move to Manila because you want to live in a big city.
Well, that's a possibility. Right now I'm in Bacolod, but as far as relationships, I would say focus on that one that makes you happy. But don't fool yourself into being happy. If she makes you happy, well, then be happy. But just know that, a lot of times it's not all what it appeared to be.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to really get to know the person first. Focus on getting to know the person first. Don't just focus on the sex and as some people would say, oil change or a tune-up. Don't
Right.
focus on that.
Right.
Focus on getting to know her first, getting to know the family as well. And then when you get to know the family and then the person, well, then now you're in a better position to make a better decision.
Yeah. But getting to know the family, it's something you would do in America. You wanna know if they got a crazy uncle. You know what I'm saying? or a psycho auntie. You know what I'm saying, like that. You want to know that, but here in the Philippines, you're kind of handicapped to that because one major factor is that you don't speak the language.
Learn that. Focus on learning a few words, just a few words.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And if you're staying here for a while, and you learn a few words a year, eventually you can make a sentence. But mostly, you can kind of hear what's going on, and the people would respect the fact that you're learning the language, and they might not just talk in front of you, say some of the things that they would say in front of you, because they understand he might understand what I'm saying.
Right. I always wondered whenever I heard people say that, I don't speak the language, but I understand the language. And I always found that very interesting because I said, well, how can you not speak the language, but you understand the language? But being around someone who speaks a different language, or here in the Philippines, I come to find that to be true. That, I may not speak the language, but listening to what they're saying and catching words every now and then, or just in the body language, I understand what they're saying, So learning, being able to understand the language and not speaking the language, I've learned to understand that. So are you in a relationship now?
Damn. Cut. Okay. Well, like I say, focus on getting to know the person first. So that's more so where I'm at now.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting to know the person that I'm dealing with, and it's a great experience.
Okay.
For the guys that's rushing to get married, you're gonna be married for the rest of your life. So what's the rush?
Supposedly.
Well, supposedly. So what's the rush?
Right.
Just get to know the person first.
Well, you see that's why everybody has different priorities.
Mm-hmm.
My priority is different from your priority. Mm-hmm. And one of the main reasons is because of the age. The age tends to make you really psychoanalyze the things you do and what you want in life and how you want to live your life. You don't live your life, haphazardly anymore. I mean, you don't do things on a whim, or you don't end up with no psycho peach who's threatening to kill you. Something like that. And here in the Philippines, life is not all that precious. When it can be easily taken away with a small amount of money.
Man.
So you really have to make sure that the relationships that you go through and develop, in the Philippines, whether it's male or female, that you have to part on good terms.
Say that.
You have to part. I like to leave them laughing. I like to leave with a smile on their face, because that way I don't have to worry about my back. But there are some people who who can be very mean to people and treat Filipinos like like they're nothing. Because the Philippines has been colonized so many times. I mean, the Philippines, these Asians are considered to be the very bottom on the Asian scale.
Okay.
You have Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, Shipalima, whatever, whoever it is. But the Philippines, because it always had a struggle with its own identity, that it tends to be diluted. Okay, Ichiban, stop chewing on that damn bone. It's been diluted. People feel that they have, especially coming from the West, or coming from the other, European countries, you feel that you have an inherent right to feel superior over, the Filipinos, and some of them treat them as such.
You gotta have a humble spirit over here.
Yeah,
man.
you have to. You
have a humble spirit.
Yeah, and that's, I know that, I like meeting people. I like talking to people, and what better way to know them is to ask them questions about themselves, about their life, and to me, that's very flattering, to want to know more about a person. Now, Betts was one of the photographers at my wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it took some good pictures. So I was happy to have him come and be a part. So how are you gonna be in Dubai? Are you still taking pictures? Because I know you had kind of like a master plan on doing something. And what I tell you, I don't know, trying to tap into the entertainment business here in the Philippines with a camera, it's a lot harder than if it was the U.S. because you don't have access, and again, the language barrier.
Well, I learned to pick my avenues. I was invited to take part with the basketball team, play with them for a while, bi-pro in Bacolod. We came in second place, but it was bi-pro versus bi-pro, so it was a win-win situation.
Right.
And I took pictures for the basketball team, so I just had to pick different avenues to go down. The modeling situation, I'm still pushing for that in the future, but as of right now, just focusing on nature, the beautiful side of the Philippines. I mean, if you just walk around for 10 seconds, you're gonna see something in the Philippines worth recording or taking a picture of.
Have you thought about the possibility of trying to venture into some type of business in the Philippines? And if you are, what would it be?
If I was, it would be photography, of course. But because of the visa situation, man, the tourist visa, we're so limited. Now, see, you married. Congratulations, 1 year anniversary.
Thank you.
So I mean, for me, it's a different situation because even if I do go into business, the other person I think has to be a majority owner of the business. So once again, it goes back to getting to know the person
because
that you're
of the law,
with.
because of the law here in the Philippines.
So the laws is a little different, but if I was to start a business, that would be a little bit down the road, but it would be in the field of photography.
Wow.
Or I might, you're pretty successful on YouTube, so I might try YouTube. I think we can do that over here without a working visa.
Yeah.